I happened upon a most interesting article published by Breaking Israel News, in which the question is asked, you see it there on the screen, did Obama just set off Gog and Magog? Now, it's written by and from a Jewish perspective, not a Christian perspective. So I want you to keep that in mind as I quote some of what the article had to say. Redemption advocate Eli Sobel connected the U.S. abstention from the latest anti-Israel vote in the UN Security Council to the advent of the Great War of Messianic Days in a video that has gone viral since its release on Facebook on December 26th. In this video, which has been viewed more than 26,000 times, Sobel asserts that it is, quote, a sign of redemption, a sign that Mashiach is close, Messiah is close. That the nations are trying to take Jerusalem and Israel away from the Jewish people. The great Jewish prophecy of Gog and Magog, of course referring to Ezekiel 38 and 39, is the last great barrier before we reach redemption, and it's appearing. It's materializing right before our eyes, Sobel announced. He mentioned a recent news article in Reuters about the upcoming Middle East Peace Conference scheduled for January 15th in France. Sobel explained that the Torah considers the phrase 70 nations to symbolize all the nations of the world, even if the actual number exceeds 70. Interesting number. Sobel retold the Jewish teaching that Sennacherib was supposed to be Gog when he came against Jerusalem in the time of King Hezekiah. We've been studying that in our Thursday night Bible studies through the Old Testament. He called Sennacherib an avowed atheist and narcissist without actually pointing a finger directly. Sobel made the point that President Obama's recent move in the UN Security Council echoes the narcissistic flaw of Sennacherib. Interesting. Goes on to say, as Sobel described it, the nations will come up with a plan to take Eretz Yisrael, and Hashem, God, will thwart their plans, and it will lead to the revelation of Mashiach, Messiah. Sobel encouraged his viewers to understand that this UN vote and the upcoming meeting in France are part of the messianic process, and not to be fooled into thinking they are purely political maneuvers. I appreciate that particular quote because I have so many people so many times say, man, you're too political. Are you kidding me? He ends on an upbeat note by reminding people that Mashiach, the Messiah, is very close. The redemption is very close. And then again, from a Jewish perspective, this makes sense. We have to take heart and be joyous and improve ourselves as much as we can and add in goodness and kindness in the context of Messiah. Wow. That's from a Jewish perspective. The Messiah is coming. It's materializing. It's happening. Our redemption draws nigh. Oh, how I wish he were quoting Luke 21:28 in the context of a believer. Because again, and I hope you understand this and know this, and if Bible prophecy is new to you, I understand. But the Jews are still looking for their Messiah because they rejected their true Messiah, which is why they're going to embrace the false Messiah, thinking that's their Messiah. Until the midpoint of the 7-year tribulation, the 3.5-year mark, when this Antichrist, this anti-Messiah commits the abomination that causes desolation, and they're going to realize this is not our Messiah, this is a false Messiah. Yes, he allowed us, by way of this peace agreement, to rebuild our temple, but our true Messiah would never do this. And they're going to flee for the last 3.5 years of the 7-year tribulation, I believe, to modern day Jordan, Petra, where God, for the last 3.5 years of the 7-year tribulation, is going to protect his people Israel, and the whole house of Israel will be saved. And that's, by the way, the purpose of the 7-year tribulation. It's for the salvation of the Jewish nation. It's the 70th week of Daniel. The 69th week has been finished. And we're waiting for that last week, that 7-year period, that 7-year tribulation, Daniel's 70th week. And I believe we are there. We are there. Well,